Hello, everybody, and welcome to Norm, the Cheers podcast that isn't. I am joined this week by Mr. David Rabinow, momentarily to be joined by Tookie Kavanaugh. We were a couple of minutes past start time, so we decided to go. Tookie's parents apparently took her out and got her liquored up. So this is going to be kind of exciting. Her birthday is coming up, and it was lovely that her folks took her out to celebrate. And she let us know that she got quite festive, made quite merry, as Bob Cratchit would say. And apparently is enjoying the coffee right now, which always helps if you've had too much alcohol. And we should be fine. So there you go.
I think it's a lovely moment of art replicating life, where we can talk about a show set in a bar as one of our compatriots hurdles from a bar onto this podcast, which is not a podcast.
Yes, perhaps falling down the stairs, not unlike Mr. Cliff Clavin. Hello, Norm.
I'm here. Sorry, so sorry.
That's so okay. Sorry. We're live, Tookie. How you doing?
Hi.
we launched the boat, and you came tearing out of the pier and jumped onto it.
This was like the classic rom-com. Just jumping and making the stern right away.
As long as you don't compare it to Overboard, because that movie lacks a lot of consent. Anywho.
That's a movie that aged weirdly. And I don't know what it says about the life we were living, that at the time it came out, it was a big hit. And no one was like, that lady got kidnapped. Yeah, it was just this like cute movie that Goldie Hawn produced herself.
Yeah.
Like Goldie looked at this and was like, yes, my husband and I are making that movie. Yeah.
Choices were made.
Choices were indeed made.
Oh, Overboard. Well, happy early birthday, Tookie Kavanaugh.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. When is your actual birthday? You don't have to share the date if you don't want to.
Thursday.
Awesome. You're a July baby.
I sure am.
So does that make you a Leo or?
I'm on some sort of cusp, though I think I'm going to have my colleague Kendra Dawsey, who you may know, read my chart. I think they do charts. Oh, so cool. I'm going to have them look up my chart and see what's up, because I have questions.
Okay. Now, is this my feed or is this you guys getting glitchy and choppy?
It seems okay on my end, but
yeah, I think it's me. Oh well, I guess it's me.
You got that Central Mass internet.
It's not strong. We need that Rhode Island Wi-Fi.
I goosed it, man. After that first week, I just threw money at that problem.
Good for you. I thought I threw money at the problem. I got those extenders for the house. Those things, I mean, they're basically decorative.
Yeah, they're just a Glade plug-in with an LED.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, hang on. I'm going to leave and rejoin and get back on the Wi-Fi.
Gasp.
This is our finest work right now.
What an episode. What a time.
I'm going to put this on my reel.
Look at what kind of example are we setting for the future?
I mean, it's just, the children are going to look at this and just shake their heads.
Oh, I can feel both Kyle and Molly's disappointment at everyone.
Yeah, they're going to turn around backwards in their chair and just shake their heads and be like, I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed with you.
Yeah, we've earned it. It.
No,
I've got I think this is a chai of some sort.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, to help offset the Scorpion Bowl.
I was gonna ask what were you drinking for your birthday dinner?
Man, a choice is. I love my family, but sometimes it's like, wow, it's a Tuesday. Should I be having a Scorpion Bowl with my family on a Tuesday? I shouldn't, but here we are.
Sometimes you just gotta ride that dragon,
Yeah, this is adulthood, and no one prepared me.
Yeah, there's very little warning when all of a sudden. I remember the first time I got tipsy with my family, and it was one of the most like when the awareness sunk in, I was like deeply uncomfortable for months.
Yeah, I didn't have a bat mitzvah. My sweet 16 was not a good time. So it's like I'm owed this, but this is still a bad idea. I remember most of the episode.
I mean, to be fair, it's not the most overtly memorable episode. It's a little.
What did I miss?
I mean, nothing. We're already on to how white was this episode.
Yeah. Mike?
What happened? I'm here. What happened?
Mike, I'm midway through an existential crisis.
What happened? You should definitely take the job.
Pardon?
Everything. I don't know. I was trying to figure out what your existential crisis might be.
All of them. I'm having all the crises at once.
Nice.
Oh, Mike. Oh, Mike.
I don't know. Move to Kansas. Take the job. Get the dog.
Kansas.
You don't need that leg.
I don't do corn. Corn gives me bubble gut.
There's more in Kansas than corn.
Moderately.
I mean, not a lot. That's also that's the sunflower state, right?
Is it?
I think so.
Okay.
And now I'm hearkening back to last week's episode.
Oh, because
the dominant flowers.
Well, thank you for reassuring me about the fact that this episode really wasn't much.
It was thin. I mean, I didn't dislike it, but it's a fairly, I thought, thin episode with like maybe one exception.
All right, let's delve right into this bad boy as long as my Wi-Fi lasts. We're talking about season 2, episode 17, Fortune and Men's Weights. By the way, I speak on behalf of the overweight. There's no way Norm was getting on that scale in front of everybody. So that's a bullshit part of this episode right off the bat. Dave, what was going on when that bullshit moment was occurring in the world?
Really, the most notable thing that I found, and I don't want to bring us down too much, but I really thought this was important to note, and maybe could serve as like a little commercial for a piece of culture that I only recently watched for the first time, which I think is really worth seeing. But this date, which this aired on the same date as O.J. Simpson and Nicole Brown's wedding.
Whoa!
In 1985. And once I found out that fact, I couldn't think about anything else. And then it just reminded me of how much I enjoyed is the wrong word, but was found incredibly compelling was the O.J. Simpson Made in America 5-part documentary from ESPN, which I only recently watched to completion maybe a few months ago. Just an incredible piece. Which not without its flaws. Yep. Like I think like Nicole is absent from that piece in a lot of ways that could have been dealt with better, but still an incredible achievement. And if you haven't seen it, absolutely worth watching. Just kind of wild to me that
it's amazing. I'm moving rooms.
Oh, okay. All right.
Traveling Dorval, ladies and gentlemen.
My cousin was born, I believe, on because the OJ chase, the Bronco chase. I'm a couple. Yeah. I have a cousin who was born on June 17th. And when they noted that was the day of the OJ chase, I think she was either.
What about the Bronco chase? Keep going.
Yeah, I have a cousin who was born either on that day or a year within.
Spots. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Dining room, so I don't get in your way.
This is our most tech heavy episode.
This is again once like the smoothest possible a piece of culture that we've ever put out there. I remember that Bronco chase. I remember watching Knicks Rockets and hearing Bob Costas of all people try to deal with the information that was coming in at that point during that game while still trying to call an NBA Finals game. It was really kind of just a bananas television moment.
Yeah. I just remember it being like a really iconic moment in television history lore, if you will, because it sort of was the catalyst to the 24-hour news cycle that we have in this day and age.
And that was something I thought that doc actually captured beautifully, was that sort of like how that particular case really did, really kind of like you say, like sort of solidify that cycle that we were living in.
So OJ, speaking of healthy relationships, huh? How about that OJ?
Well, damn.
What about the OJ creepy quotient?
Oh, that's like at a 162.
That's at a standing 200 degrees Kelvin.
They still won't verify him on Twitter. OJ's Twitter is lit though. I can't even I can't pretend like it's not.
I look less gray in this light. I think I might film from here regularly.
Oh, okay.
This is better. Like my O-light has been betraying me.
Your ring light?
Yeah.
Gasp.
Yeah, it's really like highlighting the gray. Like right now, I mean, I look like a boy of 39.
Yeah, I look like your dad.
Yeah, this is great. I always used to play Dave's dad.
Does this make me the? Oh wait, no, I won't say it. I don't want to lose our sponsors.
Yeah, this week brought to you by Chamomile Tea from Bigelow, the tea of young people.
Whenever I look at like a couple that adopts an ethnic child, I'm like, wow, what a life.
Where did that come from? What did I miss? Is that like if Dave and I adopted you? What?
Yes.
I don't get the reference. Wait a minute.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Like every black and brown child aspires to be one of Madonna's accessories, right?
That scared me so much. That was so unpleasant in so many ways. Like I was nervous racially. I felt old. I felt confused.
That
There was
last
a lot
sentence
going on in that statement.
Yeah, no, that last sentence was pure sarcasm, by the way.
Yeah.
Man, liquored up Tookie is challenging. She's daring.
Guys, we lost Brooklyn and I'm really sorry.
Damn it. We're just barely on the brink of keeping Casper.
Oh, we're losing it. Come on, Sherry's Berries, stick with us.
Come on. An edible arrangement.
We just got a shipment of MeUndies at the house. Like I can't.
Are they good? Does Trevor like them?
Yeah. And he's also got some Mack Weldon socks, but one pair managed to cut off his circulation and he was cranky the whole day, but he didn't realize that it was the source of the crankiness was the socks. So we got rid of those socks.
Interesting. Has he ever had Bombas?
No.
I'm really considering going over to a whole podcast commercial-based clothing strategy.
Oh, okay.
Like just Bombas socks and MeUndies and the Mizzen and Main shirts and no pants.
None?
Well, I haven't heard any advertised yet.
Okay.
If once they start advertising, I can start wearing pants again. But if I'm really committing to this, I don't see how I can.
If any pants sponsors out there would like to sponsor us, we are available.
Pajama jeans. Yeah, come on. Like, we're a perfect pajama jeans podcast.
We are.
What are you waiting for?
Hit us up, Stitch Fix. You got pants.
All right.
You got pants, you got legs.
Tell us about this week's cold open, please.
It wasn't much. It really wasn't much. Norm enters the bar.
Yep.
The usual Norm, a beer Norm? No, I'm sorry.
We might be picking up some of the slack for Tookie this week.
Half a scorpion bowl. Don't do it. Make better choices. So Norm, settles at the bar after saying, they have a beer. No, they barely get a word in. Okay, I don't remember the quip, but Norm settles in. Are you laughing at me, sir?
I'm laughing with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Norm, arrives at his usual perch at the bar.
Uh-huh.
And people note that he's dressed a little more fancy than usual.
Even though he's wearing exactly what he always wears.
He is. And it's sort of the dad uniform of like the prep school thing to wear. No, it's the thing to wear when attending a prep school graduation. Navy blazer and khakis, right? Like that's the look. So he's got that.
I'm taking your word for it. I've never been.
Don't. But also, you dress fancier. And Norm informs the entire bar that he actually has a date, a blind date. And Cliff chimes in with, what'd your friend tell you? That she's got good manners, good posture, and a good personality. Because Norm said that his friend who set them up said that they'd be perfect for each other. And Norm's retort to Cliff is, no, he told me that she's easy on the eyes. And Carla says, you're a dead man, Norm. Cut to credits. That's it. Not much of an opening.
It feels like they had a cold opening and it didn't go over that well, and they cut it and just opened with the actual beginning of the episode. It felt like that, yeah, because it picks up right there. Every once in a while, you get that vibe that the cold open didn't work, and they just decided to cut or to not cut something that they were going to cut later on, and there's the episode. So I agree with you there. Let's run down a story this week. Actually, let me lead with the B story since it got referenced in the cold open. The B story is that Norm has a blind date. It's his first blind date. Ends up being a fix-up with his ex-wife, Vera. And this is the episode where they get back together. So yay! We've been wondering exactly when it was coming. It is episode 17. Vera and Norm get fixed up. It is the first time I think I've seen Norm ever in a pastel. He's in that baby blue cardigan. Taylor Swift would be proud. He really looked excellent.
On my notes, that pastel looks good on Norm.
He looks great, doesn't he?
Was a great moment of costume design. Like, life is looking better for Norm. Let's put him in a spring.
Didn't we? I feel like.
Isn't that a winter though? Because
you're right.
It's pastel, but it's a soft blue.
Yeah. I should have said like a jewel tone. That's really more what he's.
Oh man, Tim Gunn is so disappointed in you, Dave.
In so many ways.
But I feel like wardrobe department is kind of plagiarizing itself, because weren't we fawning over Sam in a baby blue sweater vest at one point?
Maybe.
Perhaps. But I'll tell you right now, I think Sam is an autumn and Norm is a winter.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
By the way, if you ever want to find something fun, there are a couple of great videos where Tim Gunn is with a comic book nerd just critiquing different superhero costumes, and it's delightful. You really need to check it out. Super fun. Okay, that is the B story. They get back together. They kind of make love. There you go. Good for them. They are back together. A story. Coach orders a scale, an antique scale that gives out fortunes. Sam is annoyed with him, can't get in touch with the guy who sold it to him, and has to keep it. The fortunes are apparently quite accurate. Carla starts believing it. Everyone starts believing it. They're all getting weighed. Diane goes somewhere without Sam. Sam thinks she's going to be upset with him. She's actually fawning over him when she comes back in. We find out, according to the machine, that apparently Diane is going to be betraying romance and not being honest. It comes to a very, very weird end. It comes up to, so eventually Diane lets him know that she took this gentleman to this show that night. And so it could be kind of harmless. He actually handles it kind of shockingly well. Like that was what I noticed watching this again, is that she's basically saying, by the way, I took this guy out. Oh, and I kissed him on the lips. Like it was very, a lot of cheek. Like, you don't kiss somebody on the lips. You don't kiss somebody on the lips even when you're not dating somebody else. Like, what are you doing? What are we in Downton Abbey? You don't do this. And he actually says, and she then further makes the point of saying, as he's really kind of handling this okay, she's saying, I have to tell you, it felt so good to be out with someone that you could really talk to, like really kind of insulting him and telling him what the relationship is not giving her. He sort of reasonably says, all right, there are things I'm not giving you in this relationship, and there are things I'm not getting from you. So maybe we should call it quits. Which I thought was a shockingly mature way to handle this moment, where she was kind of telling him, hey, I'm not getting enough from this relationship and we're not satisfying each other. Then Diane has one of the weirdest moments where she decides she's going to break up with him. They do this weird who broke up with who first. She has this seemingly very sincere moment of, don't do this, Sam. We can't throw away our relationship over something this silly. Tell me we're not broken up. And he feels bad. He says, of course we're not broken up. And then she breaks up with him. It's this really emotionally twisted moment. And then they're fighting and he kicks the scale. There's a fortune there. And she says, our destiny could be on that fortune. What does it say? Out of fortunes, order more. Credits. It was the NBC ending. There was this stretch from the late 70s to the mid 80s where NBC sitcoms like to get a little melodramatic and end on unexplained bleakness. I used to call it the Facts of Life ending.
Yes.
Salata loved to do this on the Facts of Life.
Ooh.
Yes,
I am
absolutely.
totally dating myself, but yeah, that was all the time.
I remember watching a very special episode of Facts of Life that had that silent, the few beats of silent ending that led right into a commercial for a hay fever medication. So I remember being blasted by the sound of a lawnmower after that silence, and it scared the piss out of me.
As it should, and as it was meant to. So yeah, there was actually a lot I liked about this episode. It's a Heidi Perlman episode, but I didn't get the melodrama of the ending. It felt like Diane was basically saying she wanted to break up with Sam. He did it in sort of a pretty okay way. She freaked out about it, and then it ended on this cliffhanger. And I checked into next week. There's no resolution to it.
I was gonna say, like, I was like, all right, this is a really interesting episode, especially if it's like part 1 of 2 or 3, or if this is like the start of a breakup arc.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the next week resets.
Mm-hmm.
No payoff.
I was like,
No
maybe.
payoff at all.
I guess like it's helpful in the sense of like knowing what we know about Cheers and what we're going to see over the next couple seasons. Like, I guess it's helpful in the sort of world building. But yeah, I really wanted that thread to be followed through on.
Yeah, when you're having this heavy moment between the show's main couple, we need something to let us know why they're back together. Like next week, they're just back together, and it's the ski episode weekend. It's this kind of wacky. It's a fun one. I enjoy the next one that's coming up. It's pretty funny, but yeah, it just feels like this moment of unearned drama that doesn't go anywhere, and I'm a little bit annoyed by it.
They gave it the Kenny from South Park treatment before that became a thing.
Yeah. It was uncomfortable. And there was a lot I liked. I liked a lot of Coach's stuff, of course. I thought this was a strong Cliff episode. Cliff had a few really funny things to do here. I liked what Norm had to do. I liked that it showed that he really cared about Vera. He always has to make the jokes, but that was there. That was fun. It really told you a lot about Carla. It's a Heidi Perlman episode, so she's going to make sure there's some good stuff for Rhea in there. Mm-hmm. But it's really one of the early moments of establishing that she is religious, where she talks about the biggest bigwig of all, God, but also weirdly superstitious and does believe in the power of these things and she seeks that power out. It's a really interesting episode that then goes to this place that isn't totally earned. It's not super motivated, doesn't feel like it's exactly true to the characters, and doesn't end up having any kind of payoff later on. I mean, now, the idea of the card saying out of fortunes order more, I guess it's saying like you guys don't have a future. So you could say that's sort of the payoff, but we still need some kind of resolution to the immediate issue of what's going on with these two people. Like there's a big moment of Diane basically saying, I'm not getting enough out of this relationship Sam saying, well, neither am I, so maybe we shouldn't be in this relationship. And then they're still in the relationship next week with no explanation of it. And then they finally break up, like 5 episodes later.
Yeah, this really it felt like a different fight than some of the fights that we'd seen, because they are, like you say, articulating like, I am not getting what I need from you, and I am also not getting what, and like that's so explicit the way they put it, and like when it's viewed like kind of that objectively, like you can kind of see them. Like I think you're right, Sam. Ted Danson sort of chooses to play it like, all right, if that is the case, then we should not be together and we should move on.
Yeah.
And then it's very strange. I think I really think like the writing kind of lost the thread a little bit with regards to Shelley Long in this episode, because I couldn't quite wrap my head around what she thought she was, what the writers thought Diane was supposed to be doing throughout this episode. Like she seemed it just like it seemed like Heidi Perlman or the team that wrote this particular episode kind of needed more of a heavy, since the bad guy is a scale, and they sort of pushed Diane into that role, but like it doesn't really fit her. Like she's not she's the one thing Diane Chambers is not is thoughtless, and she's not impulsive.
Yeah. I don't know. It just feels like, and this is something that has come up with, season 2 quite a bit. It just feels like they lose their way with Diane quite a bit. It feels like they can't quite figure out consistently what's going on. And I wonder if in the writer's room, they're like, all right, so we know they're going to break up at the end of the season, so we need to start having some foreshadowing to that. But it's either too subtle or too heavy. There's never kind of just a comfortable through line of, all right, there's fun bickering, but this is going to end at some point. And even knowing how the season ends, I don't think we needed that foreshadowing. You could just have that relationship. And then what happens in that last episode with Christopher Lloyd of season 2 explains what's going on. It's well fleshed out. I didn't feel like we needed this stuff up until now.
Mike. Spoilers.
There's no spoilers for something that aired 30 years ago. Nope.
Okay.
And we have already said, because we've talked ad nauseum about the fact that they do break up after season 2.
Yeah.
So that's not a spoiler. The only spoiler here is if you were unaware that Christopher Lloyd was coming in and you really wanted to be surprised by Christopher Lloyd. In that case, you need to blame TV Guide and not Mike Dorval.
Serious question. Was Christopher Lloyd ever young? Is he like white Morgan Freeman, where he was just born old? Because I've never known Christopher Lloyd to be youthful in any regard.
Well, he also didn't hit, like I think he was like in his late 30s when Taxi hit. So he's always been like, and I agree, I think he's an older looking 38.
Okay.
Like he's always going to play 10 years older, but like he's like, ever since he's entered the public consciousness, I think he's always been like a pretty old guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I don't mean to sound ageist in that regard, where it's like where it's Morgan Freeman, like you know him as an old man, but there's gravitas behind that. You respect it.
Yep. It's true. They very much occupy that same thing of, all right, you guys have been 50 for 50 years somehow. Mm-hmm. And I think on some level with Christopher Lloyd, it's the fact that he was balding at an early enough age. There's that receding hairline that even if you've got that in your 20s, you're still going to play older characters for the rest of your life, but you can do it for a very long time. Yeah.
I'm also half a scorpion bold deep still.
Yes.
And, yeah.
It's not showing at all. Trevor, more coffee. It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
Okay.
If your parents are comfortable with this, how can your adopted parents not?
Yeah.
We're just happy that you've maintained that relationship with your biological parents.
Yeah.
And that's why we made it an open adoption.
We've always been encouraging.
Always supportive.
Help.
Don't introduce the joke if you don't want it to go on.
I know.
This is, if you're looking for the blame, it's the box that says Tookie.
I know.
Listen, after this thing is done, we're gonna have the carrot cake, okay?
Okay, great. I'm ready.
All right. So let's go through some categories and then we can break down some issues with the episode. What was your joke of the week?
Oh, well, I actually have a Trevor joke of the week.
Nice.
Yeah. Because it was one of those, when I watched it early last week, I was like, vibes, but I didn't haha. But
You know, Tookie, I've gone back through some episodes. From what I've seen of the, about 40 episodes we're in now, 2 have had jokes and 38 have been vibes.
yeah,
When you say that, and maybe this is the wrong night to ask you this question.
maybe.
Do you just because there are jokes in this episode? Do you mean that you just didn't like the jokes?
Yeah, I just
Or
didn't.
are vibes like a version of jokes? Or
So, like, it's kind of like, I guess, because I hold my own joke writing to a certain standard.
Yep.
Where it's like, the vibes are like, I agree with the punchline. I get the premise. I get the setup. I agree with the punchline, but I'm not surprised. It's the vibe of a joke, but it's not unpredictable for me.
Okay.
In that sense.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Where it's like, I get the formula. I can feel where the joke is going. So it's the vibe of a joke, but it's not a haha.
Okay. What was Trevor's joke of the week?
Trevor's joke of the week. He guffawed when he said, when Norm said, Vera and I kind of make love, and you can't kind of make love, and Norm says, you don't know Vera.
It's a good joke.
It's a good joke.
Good Vera joke.
It's a good joke.
Dave, what was your joke of the week?
I gotta go with Sinatra. I mean, if it's good enough to almost break Rhea Perlman and to force Ted Danson to have to drink his coffee so as not to giggle on camera, that's second Sinatra. The way he delivers it and the absolute joy with which that actor is relishing that delivery. I saw 4 total Sinatras every single time. It killed me.
Nice. They absolutely made me laugh. My joke of the week was when Coach was recreating the meeting with the scale salesman and did it with the German accent. And he said, "You had an accent?" "No, just adding just a little, just said no." And that got a big laugh. And then, "Why did you do it with an accent?" "Just a little color." I really enjoyed that very much. I also enjoyed it. It's not a joke, but I really enjoyed the moment that Cliff got hit in the head with the door from the book crate. Just perfect position he took. The lack of reaction when he actually landed made me laugh a lot. And then Cliff's reenactment of delivering the mail to see if he was healthy enough to do it, I thought was delightful physical comedy.
That was a really fun sequence, and it had such a weird internal logic to it. And watching it was, I was reminded that that Ratzenberger is, I don't want to throw around the word genius, but Ratzenberger has skills. The way he broke down that whole thing from being dazed from his fall to "I'm going to go get a beer" was phenomenal.
It was really well done. It was a strong Ratzenberger week. Strong week for the Rats. Dave, what was your 80s moment of the week this week?
All right. There were 2 objects. I'll take this one. I'm going to go with the carbon paper receipt on the lading bill on the when the scale was delivered. That used to be such a huge part of all of our lives, was getting that, the receipt that we got to, the copy that you got to keep. Totally useless today. Everything's digital. I don't miss them, but I had a moment of brief fondness seeing that carbon paper receipt.
Very strong 80s moment. Tookie, what was your 80s moment of the week?
You know what? I agree about the carbon paper receipt. That is not something I've seen. My family had carbon paper for some reason or another at the house. But that's not something I've seen since I was a very small child. But more than an 80s moment, my most Boston moment of this episode was Sinatra, actually. Because it's so typically Boston to have that one townie yell something completely non sequitur and just way out of context in a situation where it might not be appropriate to, because it reminded me of these two particular moments where one in 2003 when I was at my very first Celtics versus Laker game at the height of a certain scandal of a certain Kobe, and for whatever reason, Mike, you know this bit where this one very intoxicated individual, after someone hit a 3-pointer, stood up from his seat with his 2 beers in hand and yelled, "No ma!" So like that's a very that was a very Boston moment, and the Sinatra moment also reminded me of a couple years ago when Trevor and I went to go see The Nutcracker at the Boston Opera House, which is named after some bank or corporation at this point, I don't know. But we went to go see it at the Boston Opera House, and during Act 2, when one of the prima ballerinas does a thing where, pardon my bare calf at the moment, she lifts.
Trevor, coffee.
I know. Hell.
Coffee, Trevor.
But you know, she does the thing where she unhinges a hip and lifts her foot up over her head.
Yeah.
And some townie behind us who's sitting with his wife just yells, "Good job. Good job, kid." Like you can. And so for me, that was very much Sinatra. Like that just felt like a very Boston moment more than anything.
Yeah. There was a part of me that was hoping so hard that the punchline to that story was going to be somebody stood up at the symphony and yelled, "No ma!"
I wish.
I guarantee you at some point in the last 25 years, someone at the Boston Ballet jumped up and yelled, "No ma!"
Yes. Yeah,
it absolutely happened.
Wearing
Mala, no ma.
Yeah.
And if Tookie actually went to the ballet tonight, it could have been Tookie.
It really could have been. I am half a scorpion bowl deep, and I am not okay.
I don't think whoever you were sharing that scorpion bowl with got a full half, Tookie.
Don't judge me.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
Don't judge me. Just send help. Just send help.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get back to the actual category now. Not that that wasn't delightful. That makes me think that should be a category. And we're going to talk about making that a category very soon.
What's your no ma moment?
Yeah, weekly no ma moment of the week.
What moment of this episode would have been improved by someone just randomly yelling, "No ma!"
My 80s moment of the week is simply that the two biggest bigwigs imaginable were Sinatra and Reagan. That was at the peak of their cultural importance. And that screamed in the early 80s was that the two of them were the biggest bigwigs anyone could think of. Even before they thought of God, it was Sinatra and Ronald Reagan. All right, Tookie, how white was this week's episode?
So it was definitely milkier than the episode past, I will say. Lots of cream in this coffee this week. It was a chai latte, let's call it. I did spot one black man sitting at the bar in the first half of the episode, but I actually happened to spot two Asian women. Yeah. One by the payphone early in Act 2, and then one who was chatting with a friend of hers, a white male, and then by the scale, and then they sort of migrated towards the other end of the bar, towards the office afterwards. Yeah. So
one of the delivery people as well.
Yes, of course. But you know, there's a part of me that's saddened by having to count the black and brown people of the episode.
Yeah.
Who are in some sort of service job.
Yeah, that was an uncomfortable thing. Yeah.
But they're there.
Yeah.
But they're there.
Yeah. But yeah, it was it hit me in that moment of like, that's the most prominently featured person of color this week.
Yeah.
One of the delivery people and not the one that gets to talk.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Not the best. Cheers. Not the best, guys. All right. Sam, creepy quotient. Pretty low this week.
Really low, I thought.
We're in a fairly like healthy stretch for Sam here. I mean, there is a stretch where after when they're trying to win the breakup, but I don't know that even gets to creepy as much as he's hurt. So in terms of Sam creepiness, I think very low this week.
I think it's going to be the same. My vote for this week might be the same as last week, where Sam is never not going to creep, but I think he's at a 3.
Dave, where's your Sam creepy quotient?
Yeah, I think I think 3. Like maybe I'll give him an extra 0.25 for preemptively calling the florist, but with the look on his face that he had, like, I just got to do this. Yeah. That was that had just the air of the creep about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then not going ahead with the order when he realized she was happy. Mm-hmm. You can still get her flowers when she's happy, Sam.
Yeah, it's fine. Flowers are I would venture better given when everybody's in a good mood.
It's always the right time for flowers.
You can appreciate the flowers.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Say it with flowers. What a stupid thing. Say it with flowers. Just say it. If you can't say it, don't say it. Just don't say it with flowers, you idiots.
Not everyone has your verbal skills, Dave Rabinow.
Oh, not everybody.
Some of us need flowers.
I was a dumb boy. Now I'm an angry man.
There's quite a few people in the country who've made that exact same journey.
Oh, now I'm scared.
Just point it out. Throwing that out there. It's funny. Yeah, there are times where I don't understand the rage of some of the people in this country that you see on some of these news channels. And then someone tries to defend Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, and I get the rage. Like, I get to storming the Capitol energy so quickly.
Huh.
Yeah.
No, I just show me the Snyder butthole cut of Cats. They CGI'd out the buttholes in Cats, and I want that cut.
They're there.
I'm sorry. I've had half a scorpion bowl, and I'm very out of pocket.
It's all good. That's absolutely fine.
That's going to be the greatest gift when that butthole cut comes out, though. That's going to be so good.
I think your parents are working for it on your birthday.
Oh,
help.
It's coming. It's coming.
I haven't bought a DVD in a number of years, but that's a DVD. I need to own that physical media.
Blu-ray?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to be able to hold it in my hand because I don't want iTunes taking it away from me.
But yeah, few things make me madder than the Zack Snyder Man of Steel.
Wow.
Yeah. I really get fired up about that movie. I hate that movie.
Is that when they CGI'd out and Henry Cavill's mustache?
No, that was Justice League.
Okay.
And actually, the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, it's too long. It's very self-important, but I didn't hate it.
Okay.
I liked it. I thought it was an improvement on the Justice League movie. I thought the Joss Whedon Justice League movie was shit. I like this. I like the character arcs much, much better. I thought it all made sense. I thought the storylines were better, and I liked all the acting except for Henry Cavill.
I thought the cyborg stuff was actually really kind of great.
Really good. Ray Fisher went from like, what is his story arc to being the heart and soul of that movie, and it was great. It was really great.
I genuinely I watched it just to be able to participate in the discourse, and because I could watch it over 4 nights because they thoughtfully broke it up. But I thought I found myself genuinely like I was, I enjoyed Gal Gadot trying to deliver exposition because there's something kind of enjoyable about watching that maybe isn't what was intended. But the Ray Fisher stuff I thought was just terrific.
Gal Gadot's acting has certainly improved because because I had seen her in the early iterations of the Fast and Furious movies, and she has the on-screen charisma of a pine forest, of a lumber yard. It's an insult to trees to call her acting wooden in those films, but she's definitely improved since then.
I agree. I would.
Having never seen a Fast and Furious film, I don't have an opinion on early Gal Gadot, but I trust yours. I trust your opinion.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But maybe I'm just judging her positively because she's standing next to Henry Cavill, who is the antithesis of charisma.
Ooh, ow. Is
Awful.
Christopher Reeve
Awful.
somewhere mad?
Christopher Reeve is brilliant in those movies, but I'm not someone who is blindly loyal to the character I grew up with.
Okay.
Like I defend Ben Affleck's Batman vigorously. I thought he had a really good take on it. I didn't like Batman v Superman, but I liked what Ben Affleck was doing. I thought he had a really fun take on it. I loved the Ezra who played the Flash. I really liked a lot of these new characters. Henry Cavill is an affront to humanity. It's really terrible.
You just called Ben Affleck fun.
Yeah. You get Ben Affleck in the right movie. I'm sorry. I enjoyed Argo. Maybe this is making me a bit of a townie. Maybe I'm shouting Nomar in the wind right now. Ben Affleck in the right part is very enjoyable. I will watch The Town happily with nary a scorpion bowl near me.
Mike, you know this means I have to like mail a couple iced coffees to your house now, right?
I'll take the punishment.
Okay.
I did the crime. I'll do the time.
Okay. A couple large iced coffees and some Amazon envelopes.
I go to
For you to
bat.
juggle precariously on your porch.
I will go to bat for Batfleck. I'll hold them all and some munchkins on my pinky. No problem.
Oh my God.
He's good. He's good. He tried to do things for a stretch in his career that were completely out of his wheelhouse, and he couldn't do them well. When he's doing something in his wheelhouse, Argo is a really good movie, completely rewatchable. He's really good in it. The Town is really fun, super fun. Do you not like The Town?
It's the accents.
They nail the accents. I mean, if you just can't handle Boston accents, I get it, but you probably shouldn't have bought a ticket to The Town.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they were pretending you weren't going to hear accents.
I know. I know.
I mean, at that point, it's like, if you are complaining about Field of Dreams because you don't like baseball, well, that's on you. When you walk into The Town and your chief complaint is, boy, I didn't know there were going to be Boston accents, I'm sorry.
I didn't know there were going to be those Boston accents.
I thought they nailed the accents.
I will say, we watched an episode of Shark Tank earlier today, and the women who were, because they recently sold the business, at the forefront of wicked good cupcakes from Cohasset, Mass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They sold the business?
They did.
How much did they sell it for?
It didn't say in the article, but they initially took a deal with Kevin O'Leary, and they were with him from, I think, 2013 when the episode aired to 2021.
Nice.
Yeah, but
he bragged about that deal a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he got a royalty deal. He made a fortune off of those ladies.
But they walked in, the first thing they said is, "Hello, Shax." So yeah.
Hello, Shax.
Shax.
Now, could you watch Good Will Hunting, or was that too much for you?
It was also it wasn't The Town level for me. But it was close. It was, but Matt Damon is more convincing to me with his accent.
What's your go-to Boston movie? Do you have one?
Oh gosh. That's a good question. I have to really think. Blue Hill Ave, which is a hood movie that no one has ever seen.
I gotta check it out.
I saw it a long time ago.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
I liked it. That was that early 2000s?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's an oldie.
Yeah, it was after Next Stop Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
Very random Boston movie.
Oh, you know what?
Wonderland.
You know what? Boston movie, but where they didn't force it, The Equalizer.
Mm-hmm. Well, Denzel was not doing a Boston accent.
No. And
No.
I thank him for it. But every character he's ever played in any film since Training Day has been an iteration of Alonzo from Training Day.
You think?
Yes.
Hmm.
Every character he's done since Training Day has just been an iteration of Alonzo from Training Day. Oh, I'm on a plane. Guess I'm going to fly it upside down now.
Just like Alonzo did in
Just like
Training Day.
Alonzo from Training Day. Up. Tell him 1, 2, 3.
King Kong's got nothing on me. I'm going upside down.
Yes. Oh, guess I'm going to take out the head of the Russian mob with a staple gun. Bang, bang. Training Day. Edward Norton. Like, it's the same
Edward
character.
Norton? What?
It's
Where
the
did Edward
same
Norton come
character.
from? Trevor. Red Bull.
Wait, are you saying that all non-Denzel actors look like Edward Norton?
Yes.
Okay, good.
An actor is either Denzel or Edward Norton.
Those are the two poles. Are you a Denzel or a Norton? World's easiest
I'm
BuzzFeed quiz.
Argument. I can't swear you're wrong.
Yeah. Or Daniel Day Kim. Those are the three poles of male actors in Hollywood. You're either Denzel, Edward Norton, or Daniel Day Kim.
Wow.
Ever since we've lost John Candy, who used to be the fourth branch.
Yeah.
All right. Tookie, do you need to lay down? Should we
Yes.
wrap this up? All right. Tip of the cap to Tookie for coming in. She's playing hurt. She came in here. She got on the field. She took her cuts. She was there the whole game.
Roped a couple solid doubles. I gotta
Nothing
say,
wrong there. Yep.
She's
Contact.
Swung for the ball in the middle and hit it.
Yep. Ran to third, but you know what? That happens sometimes.
I'm schwitzing. I'm sorry. I gotta.
Are you doing something fun for your birthday other than tonight's dinner?
I don't know.
All right, I'm sorry. Tookie's fading. We need to wrap this up. She's having trouble remaining vertical. The microphone is shaking.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
She's getting close to unironically shouting no more.
You can take the townie out of Duncan, but you can't take the coffee colada out of the. Oh my God! Help!
Anything to plug other than your birthday this week? Tookie?
Oh, this Saturday. If at the Rockwell. Good luck. Yeah.
In Davis Square. How do people get tickets?
Goodluckcomedy.com or just on Instagram. You'll find it on Instagram. Good luck, all one word, _comedy.
All right. If you have trouble finding it, you probably go to the Rockwell's website. I bet you can buy tickets through there as well. Dave, anything to plug this week?
I'll shout out I'm part of an upcoming art installation kind of piece thing called the Pageant for Providence, which is going to take place in August. If you search for the Pageant for Providence, you can find their website with more information. But it's this really cool. They've enlisted a bunch of actors and writers and musicians and historians to create little vignettes about Providence, the city of Providence, and the pandemic and the city's history and where we're going. And they've created like 6 separate walking tours that you'll be able to hear these pieces as you take the tours. And they're all going to lead to a central kind of location downtown where we'll all be able to convene in a COVID-safe spot for a little for a brief kind of ceremony. It's totally free. It happens, I think, on August 11th, 12th, and 13th, if I remember right. But it's going to be really, really cool. So if you find yourself down here, check it out. I was lucky enough to be one of the writers who created a piece for it. But it's going to be a really neat piece.
Nice. Definitely check that out. I don't have anything definite happening this weekend. I might go out and try to do something, but I can't plug it. Friday, July 30th, I'm doing 2 shows at the Comedy Studio. So those shows are selling out pretty early. So you can go to thecomedystudio.com, and it's a fun place to see a show right now. They're performing in Vera's in Union Square in Somerville, and it's a really cool spot for a show. I've done a couple there so far, and they've been really fun. So check that out. Happy birthday to Tookie. I would like to assure everyone that Tookie is in for the night. She's not going out again. She is just going and laying down as soon as we click the off switch. So hope you enjoyed this episode. Fortune Men's Weights. We're going to be back next week with Sam's Ski Weekend, a fun little physical comedy week. It's going to be a good one. I'm Mike. That's Tookie. That's Dave. Stay safe, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.